Hi, this is Deborah Baker with Trusted CISO.
Join Deborah Baker to understand how to get into cybersecurity as a career.
So
No degree needed.
is I took some programming classes in high school and I thought there is no way that I want to be a programmer. I took 2 years and just it was very difficult for me. And so I thought that you had to be a programmer to be in computers. And I found out that's actually not the case. What ended up happening is I got my bachelor's degree in finance. And when I graduated, the economy was really bad. We were going through a recession at the time. And I did get a job at a bank, but I wasn't really happy with it. Wanted to get my master's. And I ended up going into the Air Force. My brother he was in the Navy and he told me, go in the Air Force. And so that's what I did. And I worked on my master's while I was in. Didn't actually finish my master's because what ended up happening is as I got out of the Air Force, IBM hired me and I moved to another part of the country. And at that point, there wasn't any sort of like remote college work. So I ended up only finishing halfway through my MBA. But the great thing about it is I got into computers. And based on the test that they gave me when I was going into the Air Force, they said, you would be good in computers. And so here I was. I didn't actually go into it before because I thought I had to be a programmer. And it turns out you don't have to be. So there's lots of different jobs in cybersecurity. And that's something, and there's so many job openings right now that it's a great place to be. The other thing is, if you like a challenge, it's a great place. And this is for networking and IT also, because everything's always changing. And so you're always having to evolve. Now, some things stay the same. There's like a foundation of knowledge that you'll learn, and that will serve you throughout your career. But you're always going to be learning about new technologies and how they affect network, the computers, what sort of vulnerabilities, things like this. And I find that very intellectually stimulating and makes my job in a good way challenging. So that's something, if you are someone that's a tech person or you like to stay up, at that point in time, I didn't really realize that I was a tech person. The Air Force was just like, this is what you'll be good in. So that's what I went in. And it turned out that I was really good. And I've had an amazing 25, 30-year career in cybersecurity. So I definitely recommend it. And it's a great career. And I'll be talking more about this on my channel. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Deborah Baker, cybersecurity expert and founder of Trusted CISO. Today, we're going to be discussing the roadmap to cybersecurity. I've helped hundreds of individuals transition into cybersecurity, whether they started out in IT, finance, healthcare, or had no technical background at all. If you're trying to figure out how to break into cybersecurity in 2026, this roadmap will show you how, with no fluff and no unnecessary degrees. Let's start with why now. This is the perfect time to get started in cyber. Cybersecurity Ventures reports there will be 3.5 million unfilled roles globally by 2026. That means companies are desperate for talent and not just hackers. We're talking policy roles, GRC, governance, risk and compliance, cloud security, and security operations center analysts. And there's a lot more than that, but that just gives you an idea of all the different jobs that are available. Cybersecurity isn't one job. It's an entire industry of roles. You can become a SOC analyst, a compliance officer, a penetration tester, or work in the cloud. And here's the best part. You don't need a college degree. Companies like IBM and Amazon hire based on skills, not diplomas. Cybersecurity isn't just one job. It's an entire industry of different roles. You can become a security operations center analyst, a compliance officer, a penetration tester, or work in cloud security. And here's the best part. You don't need a college degree. Companies like IBM and Amazon hire based on skills, not diplomas. In fact, IBM pioneered the idea of new collar jobs, roles that don't require a 4-year degree. They've said that 15% of their US hires don't have a degree at all. What do they look for? Hands-on experience, certifications, and self-starting learners who practice in boot camps, capture the flag, and contribute to open source projects. As Sean Davis, a security engineer at IBM said, hands-on experience by far is the biggest thing there is. The cybersecurity roadmap. Step 1, learn the fundamentals, how networks work, what Linux is, and basic scripting like Python. You don't have to be a programmer, but it's good to at least understand it. Step 2, learn the security essentials, the CIA triad, threat modeling, and risk. Step 3, choose your own path. Do you want to be a red teamer, a white hat hacker, blue team, defend, GRC, policy, or cloud security? Step 4, get certified. Start with Network Plus if you don't have an IT background, then Security Plus. And don't forget the ISC Squared certified in cybersecurity, which there's a still free option as far as the training and the test. So make sure you check that out. Then, if you're still interested in being a white hat hacker, there's the EGPT or the OSCP. Get hands on experience, use Hack the Box, volunteer for nonprofits, even volunteer for an internship, get involved with Capture the Flag, or build out labs on GitHub. Now, this is a roadmap that I actually created about 6, 7 years ago, and it just helps you. It's a workflow. So, do you have IT networking experience? If you do, then you can just move on and make sure that you understand Linux and Unix, either or, it doesn't have to be one or the other. And then if you don't have Linux experience, then you can take an intro to Linux class. Linux and Unix are basically interchangeable. And then you want to go over the cybersecurity basics, understand pen testing, whether you want to be a blue team or a red team engineer. And you want to understand cryptography. That's probably one of the weakest parts of information security and what people understand. And then finally, threat modeling. Get in, grow, and succeed. To succeed in cyber, surround yourself with others. Join communities like ISSA, OWASP, WISIS if you're a woman and you want to get into cybersecurity, ICMCP, and DEF CON. Or I should say, or DEF CON. If you're interested in being a red hat hacker or a penetration tester, then you want to understand and get involved with DEF CON. Avoid these rookie mistakes, studying without doing, waiting to be 100% ready, thinking you must be a programmer. Instead, target entry-level roles like SOC analyst or risk associate. Also, if you don't have an IT background and you haven't been a network engineer, that's the perfect place to start because you need to understand networking and computers and how the network works in order to understand the vulnerabilities and ways to break it. So work on your LinkedIn profile and look for apprenticeships. Like I said, volunteer, check in with your local community college because they might have a certain cybersecurity program where you're able to go and take courses that it may actually be paid for, and you could be paid during your internship and you wouldn't actually have to volunteer. So there's lots of different options, and I am going to have links below this video. So again, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, A CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience, available on Amazon. And remember to stay cyber resilient.